So...
A four-sided die, but who goes first?
Four-sided die.
The roll's lowest.
Then we have to do the opposite, the highest.
D-Payne has so many loopholes. He's putting us through. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and D-Payne.
It is me, D-Payne.
Didn't know if you came up with a new catchphrase or something all of a sudden.
No, I was like, in part looking for my pen so I could start scribbling down things. And then I was like, where is it? Oh, it's underneath the non-sponsored honey roasted almonds from Aldi's.
Fancy. But yeah, so if you guys listened at all to last week's episode, you would realize that last week was a bit of a longer episode than we usually do. And we put in a contingency in our many sets of rules to handle those situations. And the rule that has finally been enacted after a lot of episodes is if we go over an hour 15, we get to remove 2 of our rules. Before we started recording, we came together and agreed on basically the same kind of rule, just different flavors of it.
Which we found out took out 2 other rules, like, but not on purpose. Like, we chose them.
Yeah, but, like, we made those rules to not have to do these rules. So it's probably a good sign that, like, oh, we get a chance to get rid of these. That's nice. So the 2 that we opted for is the one that I've always struggled with. I don't know if you've run into... I think you had to do it once.
The joke.
The winner has to come up with a joke with their movie title is getting removed. And then the other one is if you lose, you look up a random fact of the day and share it. And I know you struggle with that a lot because you'll go to a website and go, none of these are interesting, and I don't think they're even legitimate.
Yeah. So, let's see. This was rule... Let's see, the joke was... 1, 2, 3, 4... It's an early rule.
Mm-hmm. Back in March.
Actually, I don't know why I'm counting. There's the cells right over there that are counting for me. So that's rule 9. So this is earliest February, March.
It says date recorded was March. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why. So from March, and now we're in June.
And then the other one was in April. We recorded in April, which yeah. So, but the 2 rules, like you said, that have. I guess, face the consequences, when we were taking bets on movies so that we can skip the jokes or fun facts. Now, we don't have to worry about taking bets on movies. And then the other one is you can't skip your joke or fun fact more than 3 times. So, that's okay. It's a few less things for us to have to worry about in our heads.
So, there was something else I was thinking about. Since we're talking about rules, and I probably should have asked this before we hit record, but I just remembered. So we both like books, and sometimes in the library when they go to organize books, if the movie has the word "the," they'll go by the like next word to like alphabetize it. Are we gonna do that in the case of our movies of matching, or are we just gonna be like, no, the's part of the title, so the T is the... I'm asking this because I have the as the first word in my
I'll say
title.
Mine does not have the word the, so I think it'd be more interesting in that case if they both start with the.
That should be the rule.
That's the new rule.
That's the if the movies both start with the.
If the movies both start with the, then we get to rewrite a previous rule. And if you're wondering why I immediately went to rewrite a previous rule, it's something I joked about with D-Payne before we hit record. Because he was like, oh, if we're getting rid of 2 other rules, incidentally, should we rewrite them? I said, no. That's how what our new rule is.
Yeah. And now we're both never going to choose a movie with the.
But as far as same letter, I think we can skip the.
Okay. I was like, why did I write Hell or High Water twice? And I was like, oh wait, I know why.
One for me, one for you.
Oh my goodness. So the rule would come back effect in episode 13 of this year.
We did that? What movies did we watch?
Superhero films that are not Marvel or DC. You watched The Crow, and I watched The Invisible Boy.
Wow.
I was just trying to see how many movies we've watched that have and I'm like seeing, because for people who don't know,
Sorry, let me text him to see if it's Go.
It's all good. While you're doing that, I keep notes of all of the movies and stuff because of editing for the YouTube. It's a little bit different. So I was just curious how many movies had the word "the" in it, and there are a good amount. Like The Last Starfighter, The Substance, The Crow, The Invisible Boy, The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Yeah, I think my library for sure skips the and then puts the next thing. Because I know books are by author. So I was like, why are you talking about books being organized by the title? They're always organized by author. And I was like, oh, I see now.
Yeah. Well, like sometimes I have the author, like it's by the author, and then like from there they go by title.
Yeah.
So, do you need to help a lad out?
Let me see.
I can vamp.
No, you're okay.
Okay. That's right, everyone. We don't have a studio where we go in. If you watch the YouTube, it'd be pretty obvious.
Yeah, our backgrounds are not the same at all.
That would be quite the budget and pretty funny. It's like, yeah, we don't want the illusion that we're in the same room, so let's get like 2 different mic setups.
2 green screens behind us.
Yeah, let's make sure they have different lighting.
Different audio quality.
Yeah, Itisdpayne, you can we'll change yours every like year or 2, so that way it looks like you're actually moving when you're not. You
play just distant train noise.
Yeah, there's one literally coming right now.
Okay, Zoom is not picking that up at all.
Yes, I know. So I was in a meeting. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I was in an online meeting, and Zoom blocks out the train noise, so it isn't that big of a deal. But they wanted to use, I think, Google Meets, and I never used Google Meet before, and so I go to use it, get everything set up. I'm like, hey, cool. And the one guy's talking, and I'm not muted because I'm just like, la, la, la. And then all of a sudden I hear the train, and then all of a sudden the train coming through just blast out everyone's audio. And so nobody can, it's just like, it's just like hear his, or see his lips moving, and then the train goes by, and it's like, all right, so when I hear like ding, 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 I would just like mute myself. And
at least you have a warning.
Yeah, sometimes, or like I'll hear the horn. But it's like now I kind of I don't even pay attention.
That's okay. So now that we've gotten all of our housekeeping out of the way, if you clicked on this because of the title and you're newer here, I promise we do watch movies. We just like to make things really difficult for ourselves by making us do a lot of work before we can even talk about our movies.
Hey, when you play games like this one this one doesn't really have a lot of complicated rules. It's just doesn't make sense. But if you Pathfinder, where it's like the book is the size of, I don't know, a big book. I don't know. There's sometimes I look at rule books and I'm like, man, that does not make sense.
Yeah, but
you get to choose the die. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I didn't even get to remind people that today's episode is a movie from one of the honorable mention directors from 2025.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's confusing to you, last year we went through a whole series of Itisdpayne and I both brought different lists of directors. We, based on anybody that we both agreed upon, we immediately put them on a list of directors we wanted to watch, where we watch a different director each month. But of course, both of us wrote big lists and then kind of narrowed things down based on different criteria. So not every director ended up being watched that we talked about. So there's plenty of honorable mentions. And I think we both brought a list of like, I think you brought like 17 directors. I brought a list of like 14 directors. So we had options.
Yeah, but you actually had ones on the no thanks list.
Well, I'm just a picky person.
Which, funny enough, they would have ended up on mine as well.
I think that's why you didn't. Yeah, I don't think you wrote them as no thanks because you saw I put them there already.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So, like D-Payne also mentioned, I get to pick a dice this week because we, like we said, role-playing games, different rule sets and different things. We like excuses to roll more dice.
However, there's one thing that we have skipped over that I literally just remembered.
Gasp.
It is rule on line 23. If the recording happens on a holiday, we can take a break from all rules. And according to my Google Calendar, it is Flag Day.
Oh, you did write this anticipating we'd have one holiday we would record on.
Yes.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Hey, it's I
don't
get a lot. What is
no
Flag
dice?
Day?
No dice or anything?
I don't know.
That's
I feel
a
like
rule.
dice. Yeah, I don't. Well, I feel like dice. We roll dice anyway. Let's see. Flag. What is Flag Day? If I could type. Flag Day. People across the United States celebrate Flag Day on June 14th. It is the honor of the United States flag to commemorate the flag's adoption. On the same day, the United States celebrates its birthday. Oh, the Army. I was like, wait a second, that's not right.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Army. How about this? Because rolling dice transcends just this year. Like, that's like a core of who we are.
But then who goes first?
So, here's the thing. Flag, this is how we can decide the thing. Flag has 4 letters. Army has 4 letters. So...
A 4-sided die, but who goes first?
4-sided die.
The roll's lowest.
Then we have to do the opposite, the highest.
D-Payne has so many loopholes he's putting us through. You never know what you're going to get with us.
We're not breaking rules. All the rules are... We're taking a break from the rules, so now we got to roll the highest.
So we make our own rules.
Yeah.
I rolled my D4.
I'm rolling it. Oh, well, thank goodness it fell off the table, and we don't have to follow that rule. Okay, I rolled mine.
All right, I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 4.
You get to go first.
Yes.
I'm going to count the D4 as being rolled.
Yeah, that's it.
Count.
That works. Why make it even more complicated for us? All right. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, I turned on my camera.
So there's no skipping next time. Today was simply Flag Day. So then...
Yeah, it's
all that's
Flag
reset.
Day. Yep. One of these days I'll remember where I put everything on my phone. Today is not that day. There we go. Found that. All right. You figured 25 episodes into this whole thing, I would have things set up. All right. So, I'm just recording my time. Okay. So, yeah, the movie I watched, it's actually something that's been on my radar for a little while that I was interested in watching. And funny enough, I realized I watched a couple of this director's movies this year.
All right, let me pause before you dive fully into it. I'll just say, for anyone who is newer here, each of us watched a different movie based on our prompts. Yes. No spoilers. We use the dice to see who gets to go first. And we're discussing things as if we're pitching the movie either to or to not watch to each other. Did I forget anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. And then at the end of the episode, if you want to find out what we watch next week, at the end of the episode, we spin the wheel.
Yes.
Okay.
The wheel. All right. Yes. So, I realized I watched a couple movies from this director this year already, which I was like, oh, that's funny. But this one has been on my list for a little while, and it's a movie called The Hudsucker Proxy by Joel Cohen.
Oh, okay.
So this Yeah, so this was, I think, back when like Joel Cohen is the one who got the thumbs up for this movie. Like, that is the one who gets like the director things, but I think it's still like back when Joel and Ethan Cohen, like the Cohen brothers, directed stuff together. And I don't know why they kind of split up. Maybe they're like, you smell, okay, bye. But funny enough, there's another person on this list that I almost watched a movie from him, Sam Raimi.
I thought about watching one of his as well. I do like him as a director. He's very funny.
Which you definitely in this movie see his humor come out. Because he co-wrote the script. So the Hudsucker Proxy is pretty much it starts off like we're it does this whole thing where we get this narrator that's going like, oh yes, it's New Year's Eve, all this stuff, blah blah blah, boom boom boom, and it's just like everyone's celebrating, and then it's like, but what is this young man doing here? How did a man this man is and this guy like steps out of this like floor of the skyscraper onto this like ledge, and it looks like he's about to commit suicide, like, and he's just like, what did this young man do? It's like, well, I don't know about the future, but we can go to the past, and like we go go back in time where it's 1958, and we follow the story of Norville Barnes, who like he just graduated college from Muncie, Indiana, and goes to New York City to find a job. And the whole time he's like telling people, he's like, look, I want to work here. He's trying to find a job, but he's like, I have this idea. And all he does is he holds up a sign, or this, not a sign, a piece of paper with a circle on it. And he's like, this is my idea. You know, it's for the kids. And that's all he says, like, for like the first half of the movie, of just this circle. And like, he's trying to like tell people what's going on and everything. And like pretty much no one's paying attention to him because he looks dopey. He doesn't seem very intelligent, but then like when you start asking him things like about business, like he's able, like he has intelligence. It's just that he's kind of he has the appearance from like that he looks slow. So not everyone takes him seriously, but pretty much he gets this job he's like, hey, you need no experience, you don't need anything. Just expect to work hard, long hours, and you can go in there. So he's like, all right. And he gets the job as sorting mail for the this company called Hudsucker something. I can't remember.
The name of the movie?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the company is called Hudsucker Industries or something like that. At the same time, like as he's walking in, we go up to a board meeting where we have just all these old men just sitting in this large table, and just it's just like, oh yes, and we did this and we did this, and this guy's just ranting on about like how they made all these profits and all this stuff. And there's just this old like overweight man sitting at the head of the table, and he's just like, you just see him like look out into like the skyline of New York City, and then he's just like gets everyone's attention, like as he finishes, sets his stopwatch, puts it down, gets on the table, and everyone's like, what are you doing there? And it's just like it's a little bit comical because the guy is so big, and he runs down, and he's not fast, and it's almost he's just like, ooh, 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 ooh. Like that makes a lot more sense for people who just saw the thing. It's just like he runs like in slow motion,
Okay.
And then jumps out of the window and commits suicide like in front of everyone. Everyone's like, what the heck just happened? There was no proof, and it's just like, we just had the biggest year ever, and this film was in 1994, so it's got a little bit of CGI, but it's like his fall and everything. It doesn't get gory.
Okay.
But it's just like it shows his fall, and it's just like, and now the CGI, you're like, okay, I can see like what's going on here, and it looks a little bit funny. but he falls, he dies, and everyone's like, the whole board's like, what do we do now? And he's like, he had no heir, he had no succession plans, and he owned like over like 50%. Like he had the majority
shares.
of
Yeah,
the shares.
okay.
So the board's like, what do we do? And it's like, well, according to the bylaws of the business, in the start of the new year, they go out to the public and anyone can buy them. And the whole board's like, that means anyone, like anybody can buy our stocks and like, it's like, and get majority. And it's just like, what do we got to do? And so they come up with this plan to be like, let's get an idiot to fulfill the role of the CEO of the company.
So they can control him. Or,
yes.
Yeah.
Or just have it run the stock down. So that way, at the first of the year, they can buy it all very cheap and then go back to what they were doing, making money and everything. Thus, Norval Barnes, by accident, is sent up there, and like everyone, and we see that he starts having this intelligence and all this stuff, but then he's just a buffoon where they let him through, and that is the rest of the movie, pretty much. Like that's maybe like the first 20 minutes of the movie right there is just Norval Barnes going from entry-level mailroom clerk to CEO of this worldwide company in 1958. And it is how he deals with the success and the ebbs and flows and the stress of all that. Oh, and by the way, the new year is like within 5 weeks. So like this whole movie takes place in like 5 weeks about, which is crazy just thinking about it, like at some of the stuff that happens. Even crazier are some of the things at the end, because there's some stuff like it is so out in left field that it's just like, what the heck, where did that come from? Like it's funny and it's interesting, and it's like I don't see people do movies like that anymore, because it's like it kind of breaks the realism of the movie. Okay. But it at the same time, it doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't detract from the movie. So yeah, so that is pretty much the general theme of the movie. What I really like about this movie is that there's so much character in the camera shots in this. The majority of this movie takes place in the Hudsucker building, where it is, if you've ever watched the 1989 Batman movie where they have like the giant sets for Batman and these giant buildings and all this stuff, it is similar to that. Like it's got that same feel where it's like, hey, where Hollywood made giant sets and they were real, and people, it wasn't just all in front of the green screen, or the majority of it wasn't in front of a green screen. And it's just there's like this whole thing where they got we see the mailroom that he's in there, and it's just like, how does this make sense? Like how does any work get done there? Because like and there's just so much character in there where nothing makes sense. You got all these tubes going all over the place. Like they're giving him his orientation as he's walking through, and it's just like, you need to do this, and he's not even like fully initiated. And there's people in the mail rooms like, take this up to this room, take this one up to there, this goes here. Oh, by the way, everyone in this movie talks like, yeah, let's go here, say that. And then there's Jennifer Jason Leigh. I don't know what other movies she's been in, but she's in this, and like she talks like, she does that like fast talk, is like, yeah, say I'm a woman and I got a Pulitzer. Just like just the majority of just hearing people talk like that, it's been real fun, because it's all like fast talking. And then Norval Barnes, who's played by Tim Robbins, is just like, what? Oh, okay, yeah.
Just trying to keep up with all of the,
like he keeps trying to get like a word in, and everyone's just like, no, we're in New York, you gotta talk like this, you gotta keep fast. And he's just like, so, but there's like another part where the Hudsucker building has a giant clock in it. And so there's times where we go in there and we just see this room just filled with all giant gears and the clock moving and everything. the building doesn't just feel like, hey, this is a place that we can film. I think where I would talk about is just how in more movies, modern movies, where it's like, if it's not, like, if we get more fantastical themes, it's in front of a green screen. If it's not, it's bland office building with no character and all that stuff. And like it kind of gives, there's rooms where it's just like there's grays and all that stuff, but it's like, because in that time computers aren't there, so there's like a wall full of shelves where they gotta like keep everything categorized. They need a ladder to go up there, like, and all the characters in this movie that are not main characters give off like, it's very quickly you find out like their temperament, their like who they are, like how they are, just like from a couple lines. And it's just it's just fun because it's like there's like a whole part where you're sitting in a diner, and it could be the scene where it's just the Jennifer Jason Leigh's character is she's a reporter, and she's trying to find out who Tim Robinson, who's Norval Barnes, like, who are you? Why are you an idiot? Like, why are you here? But she's trying to get her way in there. And instead of us being like, oh, okay, and we see, like, have them play it out, the whole scene of her, like, kind of putting on the waterworks and getting on his, like, hitting on his emotions and getting there is all narrated by these two old, like, I think one's like a taxi driver and the other's like a sanitation worker sitting on the other side of this diner, just like,
watching them,
and they're narrating it. Just like, oh man, look at this person just coming in. Oh, he looks a little slow. Yeah.
So it's like if in Hell or High Water, rather than meeting the older people at the diner after the fact, if we watched, like how Jeff Bridges talks to them, kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like the old people just like, oh man, there's the waitress hitting on Christopher Pine. Oh my goodness, like all that. But it's like that, and they do these kind of things where it's just where it's just not totally a drama and just like this intrigue. It's all done in comedy, and there is this story with a drama and all this stuff where I knew what, because I had it spoiled, and I for me. So, because I was listening to a podcast before, like years ago, what the circle is, and it's I don't want to spoil that because it is fun to see it, even though it's like you sit there and when it is revealed what it is, you're like, oh, that makes sense, and it is fun, like to think about, like, because the whole time he just holds up, there's no, like, his drawing is just a plain circle. It's just like, yeah, it's for the kids, and that's all he says, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Until he reveals what he was thinking, and they're just like, oh, okay. And but from there, like, the way they do shots and all this stuff, they have a really neat time of, like, the way they transition scenes as well. So there's, like, this whole thing where when the stress is getting to Norwell, and, like, you can see, like, all this stuff, and the way they do this, and all of a sudden, like, they open up a door to do a scene change, and this older secretary who's there that we see before, she just, like, comes out of nowhere and just goes, shh, like, shushes you at the screen, and then walks off, and then behind her it says board meeting in place, and you go in, and then you see the board meeting, like, of what's happening. So there's there's just even those scene transitions have a lot of character and stuff,
almost like fourth wall breaking a little bit.
Yes, there's a lot of fourth wall breaking, but it doesn't ruin the experience of watching the film.
Okay.
Trying to think. So there was that. I know there was something else I wanted to mention. Let's see. But yeah, the set pieces are great. It's definitely stuff like you watch it and it's like early 90s set in the late 50s, and it's just like, oh, wait a second, that doesn't seem to be like there's like people trying to chase somebody to take them to the loony bin, and it's like these people come out of nowhere. Yeah, that's what they call it, because it's like because they can't multiple people for some reason couldn't pronounce asylum or like
that's a
sanatorium.
Sanatorium.
Sanatorium,
yeah, okay.
like just like me. So it's like they keep trying to like say it, and they're like the loony bin because they couldn't say the word that I just messed up. But they like pop out, and it's just one's running with a straitjacket, and one has like a butterfly net. It's like this giant butterfly, and it's just like, what the heck?
It feels like almost like kind of like it makes me think of like the Animaniacs cartoons or those things where just things are happening and you're like, sure, okay.
Yeah. And so overall, because I only got like 4 minutes left, so if you have any questions, I'll leave it. I want to leave stuff open, but it's like it is a comedy, and it's, I think the message that they kind of share at the end, of like or not the point, but it's just like kind of, I don't even know if it's strong enough to be a message, but it's just like, hey, pretty much, hey, this is how you treat people or whatever, is still like, it's not like a come together, learn your lesson kind of story, but it's just like, we see like his 5 weeks, and then he learns something of just like that kind of mimics or shows you just like, oh my goodness, okay, like I shouldn't be feeling like that. What I just went through is like accelerated, but still okay, kind of normal, and just what it looks like, and kind of gives them a little bit of hope. But it's there's all that. All the actors in this movie are great. There was they portray their roles in there. The one person I was like, I thought that was him, but I was just like, he's in it so quickly. Bruce Campbell's in this movie.
Very Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
To include Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, so he's in this movie. There's another person, I'm like blanking on his name, but it's Steve Buscemi's in this movie, but he's like not old.
Oh, so you didn't recognize him right away?
I recognize this face, but it's just like his hair is actually his color and and stuff. So it's just like I got confused. Like he's in there for a second, and it's like as soon as he starts talking, it's like, oh, I know who this is.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the list of because it looks like there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I see. The barman is Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Seems like just, and then Sam Raimi apparently is in it as well.
Oh, is he?
It says he's one of the brainstormers.
Oh. Actually, okay, there is a scene, there's a brainstormer. I'm wondering if that's him and the Coen brothers or something like that going off.
It says, and then John Cameron is another one of the brainstormers.
Oh. Yeah, no, that is when for the kids and the sequence of that, everything being made.
John Cameron. Sorry, I was scrolling through his credits. He's director for like the Fargo TV series.
Oh, okay.
And The Pit, which is actively airing right now, that I know a lot of people like. So yeah. Oh, he directed one episode of Xena Warrior Princess. Fun. All right, so it looks like they all just like to put each other in it. It looks like John Goodman was in it.
Yes.
It says he was a newsreel announcer. Lots of little cameos from lots of big names.
Yeah. It's I got like 33 seconds left, so I'll just
all right. So then just wrap up with, would you or would you not recommend to people?
I would recommend this film. It is it's a lot of fun. I would also, well, no, I'm like, would this be considered a Christmas movie? And I was like, Christmas, it happens in a New Year's time, so it's probably, I think it's more like a New Year's movie.
Like winter, generally, yeah.
And so, but it's like the end, the beginning, the end, like even though it's the same day before we go back in time, is all like within New Year's, but it is. I would recommend people taking like I really enjoyed it, and I don't know if I would watch it again on my own, but it didn't detract from it. But it's like, because me personally, I have a hard time watching movies that I just watched again.
Too close, yeah.
Too close, but just in general, I think the only ones that I've like watched multiple times, like without like prompting from the podcast or like other things, would be like Labyrinth, pretty much Muppet movies, and Nightmare Before Christmas, and another movie that I don't know, I never hear anyone talk about, but it's like one from my, like, I remember when it came out as a kid, and it's made by the guy who did Fightful Goes West, Titan AE.
You have mentioned this one a few times.
Yeah, it's not a super amazing story or complex. It's just, I don't know, I like it. So it's a fun sci-fi thing. But that is kind of all I have about it. It's yeah, I would definitely recommend people giving it a look.
Yeah, I see it's labeled as like comedy-ish, satire-ish, workplace drama-ish.
Yeah. I will say, like, I think the biggest warning that I would give is that suicide is in the beginning. It is not shown, like, we do see the guy jump out of the window, and we do see him falling, like falling down, but we don't see the impact. But it's just it being, let's see, 26, 14. So it's like a 25-year-old movie, I think, or around there. It's, I don't know. I can't do the math off my head real quick. 94. I'll do it right here. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. 32-year-old movie, so it's him falling, like, at the time probably looked really dramatic and scary, but it's just like, with nowadays and the graphics and everything, it's almost comical to see him fall. And yeah, it is a lot of, they use a lot of terms like
some outdated ways of referring to things, yeah.
Yeah, like the loony bin, or like even when they're talking about suicide, they're just like, oh man, is this guy going to jump, and is he going to become sidewalk jelly? And it's just like,
oh my god.
Yeah. So it's there is terms.
But you said a lot of the people in it are unlikable, right? Because they're like big wig CEOs.
The majority
board
of them are.
Yeah.
There isn't, like, the only person for like the majority of the movie that you would be rooting for or feel sorry about would be Norwell Barnes, and not that he is an innocent person as he goes through the movie as well, but like we're kind of seeing him learning life lessons as he's going forward, because he's just straight out of college.
Trusting people. Yeah,
straight out of college, trusting people and just trying to do his best. And I'm like, after he gets into the board, I'm purposely being vague about what happens, because that is the meat of the movie, and just seeing I think that this isn't spoiler town, so it's just there's a lot of stuff that's in there that is that's going on, but it's just the way they present things, and rather it being like, oh, here, let's just make it like a normal drama where we're just gonna have these two actors like interact. It's like, as we said, like these two old guys that are just tired, just like, oh man, is he going to take the bait? No, man, there's no way she's going. Oh, she failed. No, she go home. No, she can't be that weak. Oh man, that's right. Oh, here come the waterworks. Oh, and the light lunch. And it's just like the way they like narrate that whole scene, rather than seeing us watch
just
them.
The interaction.
Yeah. So they do that a few times, and like, as I'm saying, like the ending, like it's just so far like breaks fourth wall. Like it breaks probably like a fifth wall as well. Like it's just to where we're like, what is going on here? Like, it's like we see the characters in there and they're just like, oh, okay. Like, we meet these two characters before, but it's just like, what just happened? So it is, I would say, yes, it's definitely worth watching. And it would be fun to watch with some people that like don't watch older movies, to be like, there's one person in particular that I'm thinking of that is very close to me, but it's like just to see their reactions to it, because it's just a different style of movie. But yeah, the biggest thing would definitely be like trigger worthy is like the levity of how they talk about suicide. It's not like they're encouraging people to do suicide, but it's just like
it's not sensitive to. Yeah.
It's not sensitive, and then just there is a lot of mentions of workplace culture and showings that is kind of toxic. So if you're like, oh, but it is all done like in this tongue-in-cheek satire way, where it's like, okay, we know like that's not how it really is, like, but it's like there is, it's not
untrue, but it's not like making it the central.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So,
okay.
So and also just don't read the Wikipedia if you don't want spoilers, because I just scrolled through and went, oh, there's
just immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, so whenever you're ready to pass the reins, let me know.
It's all yours.
All right. So I feel like with the way that my movie is, I'm also going to have to be like really vague about it, because a lot of the premises are given to you in the very beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. And then everything else that you need to pay attention to is related to the very important plot points. So the director I went with is Satoshi Kon, who, the reason I remember we didn't watch them in 2025 is that we had watched 2 of his prominent movies for the winter holidays. Because we watched Tokyo Godfathers and Millennium Actress.
Yes.
Because we had done a, winter anime movies series. Yeah, and there are not as many as we had hoped, but it was a good excuse to watch those 2 and then find others. So yeah, unfortunately Satoshi Kon, he did not live a very long life, so he didn't have a ton of movies under his belt. But one of his final movies that he released that I've been meaning to watch for a long time is Paprika.
Oh. All right.
I did have to rent it, but I think it was well worth it. So, kind of like what I was saying, this is one of those movies where I don't know how much I can tell you. I can tell you the premise. The premise is given to you very early on. I think I'm too used to newer movies as well, because like when you start a newer movie, they have like 15 production companies and you watch a whole like reel of, oh, he's the producer, like in partnership with. So like I hit play and I was like, oh, I forgot to get like a craft to do while I like watch the movie. Because sometimes like when I'm sitting watching a movie, I'm like, I want to keep my hands busy while I pay attention, especially for something I know is a translated film. So I was like, let me go find something. And by the time I came back with my craft, the movie had started, and I paused, and it had only been 40 seconds, and the movie started. I was like, oh, there's not a bunch of production companies. Let me rewind a little bit. So the movie starts right away and immediately dumps you into a really confusing set of scenes that are, you can kind of immediately tell is a dream, because you basically have this one main character who's like walking around and it's giving like secret agent kind of vibes, where he's like, the target sees me, don't get spotted, yada yada. And then all of a sudden he gets teleported into like a cage and he looks around, and then a bunch of people start chasing after him, and all the people look different. Like there's clearly like a child, and then there's clearly like someone much taller, someone much skinnier, but they all have his face. So classic nightmare where you're like, why is everybody attacking me in the middle of my anxious dream? And you quickly find out about this device called the DC Mini. I forget if they say exactly what it stands for, like what the DC is. But the concept of this device is it's meant to allow other people view your dreams while you have them. And in the context of this movie, which is apparently also based on a 1993 novel, that I just learned about. Funnily enough, I was reading a little bit about who the author was, and the author also wrote the novel that inspired the movie for The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is another movie. I think I watched parts of it growing up, but I never got to watch the full thing. But it's another one of those like beloved movies that I know I want to get around to like actually watching with a fully developed brain. But yeah, so yeah, the concept in the context of like this story is that they use the ability to view dreams for like psychotherapy. So they have the psychiatrist join you in your dream. It records the dream. And then the two of you can go, well, why do you think you feel this? Or why do you think you're dreaming of this? What are you stuck on? Et cetera, et cetera. And go ahead.
Sorry, my brain was like, so like The Cell?
I was gonna make the joke, like I gotta undo the Twizzler suit stuff, but I feel like The Cell was like less so about dreams. It was more like your subconscious,
yes,
right?
It was.
Like,
yeah, it was just. But we can never escape The Cell.
No, it's always around. So yeah, but you do find out that this technology is one of those technologies in the universe that the movie takes place in, where it's one of those. It's brand new. It's still under research, and it's like pretty subject to like who trusts it and what the implications of it are and everything like that. So pretty much like right away you come to learn about the kind of the title of the movie, this character Paprika, and kind of how they kind of hint like, oh, she's unconventional, she does things in weird ways, she doesn't do anything by the book. But you kind of learn more about the parent company that like invented it, built it, and everything like that. And you kind of find out that the company itself is like not really on the up and up. They clearly like did the research, they built this, and the researchers all want this to survive as a project. But the CEO who's funding them keeps saying like, no, we have to pull the project because shortly after we're introduced to the technology, they quickly find out that one of them has gone missing, and it appears that people are starting to have like, or starting to dream while awake rather than just when they're asleep. And the technology seems to be very much like getting out of their hands. So the movie quickly turns from you learning about the tech to them kind of trying to chase down and piece together, well, who might have it? What are the consequences? What are the implications? And how do we stop it? Because things start to kind of like bleed over into reality. Mm-hmm. And since you watched Millennium Actress with me, you can kind of like, it's kind of similar to that feeling of what's the timeline, what's real, what's movie, what's dream, like very much those kinds of same themes. I can't remember, have you watched Perfect Blue? That also by this director?
Was the first movie I watched for this series.
Okay, so that it has more of, I think it's closer to that, because there's a lot of insinuations that Paprika is not who you think she is, and things like that. So it starts to really blend the, well, who is she? Whose personality is that? Is it just an alter ego? But then I think the really strong thing about this movie is like, I guess I was like saying this to Schreider, like people would be like, oh, Inception is so trippy. And I'm like, after watching Paprika, I was like, Inception didn't even try to make it seem like a dream, you know? Whereas in Paprika, you literally have scene to scene to scene to scene, and it feels like those times of the night where you wake up and you like keep falling into different dreams. Like somehow they managed to capture that through animation, and I was like, oh yeah, yep, I think I've had this kind of dream before, and I didn't like it when I had it. So it's really cool, it's really pretty, it's really impressive art. I know there's probably lots of symbolism and things like that that are in it that I don't fully understand, because like they had used, like clearly they used certain types of traditional Japanese dolls, traditional Japanese art that I think are meant to like convey certain messages. There were also there's like a particular type of hand symbol that was being used a lot in like the beginning portion. I don't know what it was, like what it meant, like if it's something historically important or it was just meant to be kind of like off-putting. I didn't get a chance to research it that far, but yeah, I'd say if you want to be really confused for about 90 minutes, yeah, that's the length of the movie. If you want to be really confused for about 90 minutes, I think that if you're willing to be confused, I think this is a beautiful movie. I think it has some underlying themes to it that I think make for good discussions. Like if you watch this with somebody else, it has like almost that theory crafting kind of feeling to it, where you can be like, well, was this real? Was this the case? Who is this? How did they get access to it? You know, it's got a lot of vagueness to it, which for the context of it being a movie blending reality and dreams makes a lot of sense. Like, it doesn't sound like it should, but it does. Yeah. I will say you did kind of give warnings for yours. I'd say because this is about dreams, along with that, unfortunately, dreams also come with desires, good or bad. So I would just blanket out there, say, like, there's a lot of warnings. There's a lot of, like, uncomfortable stuff that happens. There's a lot of, like, negative stuff. There's various forms of violence. There's various, oddly enough, the way that you said your opening scene, like, crux of your movie is, one of the big reasons they realize the technology's been stolen is someone does almost exactly what you said. Because there's one prominent doctor, and they're like checking in on something, and then in the middle of it just starts saying things that are really illogical. And at first I was like, is this a bad translation? But then the other characters are also like, what is he saying? None of it like makes sense. He's like shouting about a parade, he's shouting about like monkeys, he's shouting about frogs, all like back to back to back without anyone talking to him. And they go, doctor? And then he sprints out a window. It's like, oh. So that I don't know necessarily if I'd say suicide specifically. I'd say maybe generally like self-harm, because based on the way the movie is, it wasn't intentional because he was awake but dreaming. So his awake body was doing what his dream body was doing, and it unfortunately meant that it harmed himself. That kind of thing. But yeah, so there's a lot of interesting discussion as well. I didn't know how to interpret it yet because, again, this is one of those movies that has a lot going on. But there's also seems to be discussions about that concept of, like, the internet world and the dream world are both kind of, like, similar things. Mm-hmm. And the one quote that Paprika makes that I thought was really interesting is it says, or she says to someone, the internet and dreams are similar. They're areas where the repressed conscious mind escapes. So there's clearly some discussion that the director and writers wanted to get into about, like, you know, the internet isn't really a real world because you can choose who you are there, in the same way that in your dream world you get to choose who you are. So yeah, lots of layers. And there's also a lot of characters with a lot of traumas. I guess is how I would put it. Because you basically have different researchers, you have different inventors, you have different, like, detectives that get pulled in, and you have all of these, like, assistants and everything that everybody is, like, surrounded by. Mm-hmm. And despite there being a lot of characters, I'd say all of them are pretty unlikable. Like, the one inventor guy is a bigger guy. He eats a lot of food, but they are, like, pretty fat phobic to him, like everybody is. And I was like, guys, calm down. You don't have to bully him for his weight. Granted, he does have moments of eating in excess to the point where it's like they're at a restaurant and this lady comes up. She goes, who ordered the udon? He's like, me. She's like, who ordered the steak? He's like, me. She's like, who ordered, like, this specialty? He's like, me. And then the one character is like, you know, if you could just stop eating that much food. And, like, me as a modern person, I'm like, I don't know if he has a thyroid condition. Leave him alone. Like, but that character is also unlikable for different reasons. So it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting because you can tell nobody likes each other, but they all have to work together for different reasons. But again, that's kind of another warning where, because they're all so unlikable, they say things. Nothing, I think, as, like, particular phrases like how your phrases in your movie sounded very outdated, but the things that they say in this movie are mean on purpose, I would say. Mm-hmm. Because all the characters are kind of infighting because they don't trust each other anymore, because they're pretty sure whoever stole the device has to know how to use the device, which means it's probably someone, like, internal to them. Mm-hmm. But one of the other things that I would say is some of the characters that don't feel important have random important parts later, which I can always appreciate for a movie, because for me, I'm like, oh, you didn't just throw in a guy. He eventually had his whole storyline laid out to him. But yeah, I thought it was a very fun watch. I know a lot of people will say like this is like a big inspiration for them because like the animation and the art in it are very good, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, it's one of those movies that like I'm watching it 20 years later and I go, how did they do that? Mm-hmm. Because I believe this is
it's his last film.
It is his last film, but I believe I don't know if it's hand animated actually, now that I think about it, because I know around this time Ghibli films weren't only hand animation, right? They started to develop softwares to help with animation.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I'll allow it. It was still gorgeous, and I think there's only a couple times where it looked like they used some kind of 3D software, and it threw me off. But at the same time, I was like, it's just the dream world. Maybe it just shadows look weird because there was a time in like the 2000s where they started trying to add 3D tools to animation, but like it clearly didn't look right because the coloring and everything was off. But in the dream world, go off.
According to IMDb, when I brought it up, I think it has the tag hand drawn.
Hand drawn.
Let's
okay.
see. Yeah, hand drawn animation. It has that tag.
Yeah, again, super impressive because some of the transitions between things, there's literally some scenes where she goes and turns into other creatures. And I'm like, they didn't even do any transition. She just clearly morphs into something else. And I'm like, huh, impressive. Gorgeous.
Yeah. He kind of does that in a lot of his films. Like, Perfect Blue kind of has like that.
A lot of mind trickery.
Trickery, and so does Millennium Actress, where it's like, you know what's happening, but at the same time, you're like, wait, what? I feel like Tokyo Godfathers is his most grounded. But it's still chaotic and stuff in its own way. I see that he did like this mini series called Paranoia Agent, which is just like, I wonder, given him he was a writer for that, so I'm just like, I wonder how that translates, like not translates, but like we see what he can do in like 2 hours. What can he do in like a
longer series? Yeah.
And it looks like on average it's around an 8. Yeah, like the lowest one is a 6.8 rating.
Yeah. I don't think this one's a spoiler. I'll send you this screenshot. But they're like these like animated scenes, like things like this happening, and I'm just like, I don't want to know how many cells it took to hand animate this.
Yeah. It's more than they wanted.
And that's just a still, but like you watch her run and jump through it, and then it all warp, and then she's in it and goes, "Come on, join me." And I was like, that was so smooth.
Yeah. Back when we had a society.
But yeah, and then there's also like different parts where it's like, is it supernatural? Is it just capitalism? Is it just dreams? Is it just that like you start to mess with the subconscious of people, then it starts to bite you in the butt, you know, because who could have guessed? But yeah, I thought it was really cool, really interesting. Again, if you're willing to be confused, then I think it's worth a watch. If you want to watch really cool art, then also really worth the watch.
All right. Yeah, you got 3 minutes left.
Always tricky when I don't want to give away much about the movie.
So here's a question, because I haven't watched Inception, but I think I saw people say that Inception is a rip off of Paprika, or at least take it looks like they take heavy inspiration off of it.
Yeah.
Have you watched both?
I've watched Inception. Inception to me kind of feels more like, to be honest, The Cell. In the terms of like, if I remember Inception correctly, I watched it when it came out in theaters. And the way that Inception handles the themes of like going into people's dreams and stuff like that is that one is more like a weird heist. I guess I'd say it's like a heist movie where they're going into their subconscious and they want to blend in as much as possible in order to gain something from it. So like, to me, like The Cell kind of feels more like that, where you have Jennifer Lopez going in and trying to play nice so that the subconscious can lead her to whatever it is she needs, right? Because she's like, well, to unlock your whatever they tried to say would work. Whatever, however we can fix you, you have to guide me there. And Inception, if I remember correctly, it's kind of one of those, or I guess there's another set of movies. I haven't watched them, but it also gives me the same vibes. What's those movies where like they do magic to steal stuff?
Oh, Now You See Me.
Yeah, that's how I feel Inception vibes-wise was, where it's like you have the group of people that go into the dreams and they're getting paid, I think, to like pull out sensitive information or something like that. So they're trying to fit in and not disturb things too much, because if you push too hard, then the subconscious starts to attack you. And that's the shtick of Inception, where it's like, if they realize you're not supposed to be there, the subconscious will start to attack you. Kind of like, that's why I say The Cell as well, because when it gets aggressive, it like attacks the invading presence. Whereas, so I can see where people would say Inception kind of rips Paprika, because when the subconscious gets upset, then all the dreams start to get like action packed, right? But I think Paprika is more so action packed just because of the nature that is the technology has gotten out of hand. So Paprika to me feels more like those cautionary sci-fi stories where it's like, hey, if you build this technology, this is everything that's going to happen, and it's all bad. It's all bad news. Everything bleeds through, and you don't realize just because you could doesn't mean you should. Whereas Inception, I feel like, is more like, dang, guys, we really got ourselves in a pickle. How do we get ourselves out?
I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. Hello.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
Aye.
And that's why I say, like, the Now You See Me, because all the clips I've seen from Now You See Me are like, oh my god, guys, how do we use magic to fix our problem? How do we subvert the security guards that think we're the ones doing the heist? Like, that kind of.
I think the only thing I've ever seen of Now You See Me is when they're trying to get like a card through security.
Yeah, and they're just like, throwing it.
And I'm like, okay. Thing. There could have been an easier way to do this. But I never watched the second movie or the third. I only watched the first one.
I've only seen that clip of them throwing cards,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the only thing I've seen, I think people saying, I think that there's a hallway scene in Inception and in Paprika where they're like, this is like a 1-for-1 shot. And I'm like, okay.
Let me see if I can find. It's been so long since I've watched Inception.
Yeah.
Let me do Inception versus Paprika. Yeah, I agree with this one comment from a deleted account from 6 years ago. But the top comment says, Inception does not rip off Paprika, it just borrows some of its ideas. The stories are completely different. The same thing with, like, Black Swan isn't Perfect Blue, but, like, you can see where one inspired the other.
Yeah, they overlap.
Yeah. So just because, like, both of them are about... Just because Inception and Paprika are both about going into people's dreams doesn't mean is, like...
Yeah.
Whatever. I also think this is very silly. The final sentence... I'm not reading through this entire thing. The final sentence says, I think Paprika is easier to digest. It doesn't leave you up to interpretation like Inception. I'm so sorry. Paprika... I wouldn't say Paprika is an easy movie to digest. In the same way that I don't think Millennium Actress is easy to digest. I also don't think Perfect Blue is easy to digest. I think with all of these movies, that he's like written and directed, they very much feel Tokyo Godfathers, I think, is easy to digest. That one's, like you said, a story about people doing the best without having a lot. But the other three, I feel like, are those kinds of movies where you go, and the more you think about them, the more questions you get. Just because Inception has that stupid, I know you haven't seen it, and like, I guess I won't say spoilers, but just because Inception has that stupid ending doesn't mean that like it's a harder movie to digest. I think Inception is a very straightforward movie that people want to make it out to be something more than it is. Sue me. Put hate comments if you disagree with me.
No, I want the hate comments. You get out of here. They're mine.
But I think Satoshi Kon, I think his movies are really clever in that, I guess, yeah, on the surface you could just be like, whoa, weird, things are kind of loopy. But if you really sit there and try to think about it, you go, man, he had a lot to say, and this movie's really confusing the more I think about it. Because, like, Perfect Blue has so much, like, you have the discussions about, like, what it means to be a celebrity, what is mental health, what's worth pushing aside for the sake of what everybody else says is good for you, on top of just, like, what is your self-conscious actually trying to do versus what are you trying to repress, right? There's so much there. Millennium Actress is a lot of those, like, missed opportunities. What is, like, your heyday? What is your prime? What's worth reminiscing? Are you the same person you were before you, like, had to, like, change careers or change your lifestyle? And a lot to do with, like, is it worth creating a legacy? Right. Because you can never outgrow it. You just are what you are. And then you have Paprika, where it's about, like, the science fiction aspect of when you blend things together, saying that it helps people, who is it really helping? And, like, a whole bunch of other stuff, and, like, dreams, and clearly, like, some discussions about the internet, and, you know, is it better to just take the shortcut and be like, hey, doctor, you saw my dream, interpret it for me? Or is it better for you to actually have to work through it? Because there is a character in it who he's like, man, I'm really addicted to, like, the dream therapy because, like, I want to keep seeing the Paprika character in my dreams. And then he doesn't get what he wants in the end, but he does find a way to work through his personal problems. But he does it in that more traditional therapy, longer, slower way. And he seems to be much better for it because he had to, you know how it is. Like, sometimes your body reacts to things and it takes a long time for you to be, like, realize, oh, it's because of this. And because of that, then this. And then this and this.
Yeah.
So.
The mental detox.
Detox isn't the word. But mental, like, being able to make the connection. Because one of the characters is, like, he keeps having a reoccurring dream. So he goes, oh, I'll go to dream therapy for the reoccurring dream. It's like, it's probably not the dream's fault you're having the reoccurring dream. There's probably some other things going on. But yeah, sorry. That's my end of rant, and I'm probably went over my timer.
Nah, it's all good. We didn't go far enough unless we keep rambling for another while to
Look,
take away another 2 rules.
I have opinions of many things.
That's all good.
But what I will warn everybody is next week's episode, I might be a grumpy lady because I'm getting allergy tested. So I will have lots of itchy spots on my back.
Oh, man. It'd be funny if we get the one where it's...
Was it like a movie the other host doesn't like or something?
Yeah, and you can thank yourself for doing that one. And there's no rules, so we can't skip it.
Oh, I can't re-roll. Well, I guess that's a perfect transition for me to pull up the wheel. So I am starting to record that for us now. I'm hitting spin. We have 27 prompts left for this year. We're getting through them.
Yeah, we're... I don't know when the halfway point is. Let's see, 27. So what? And this was episode 25? Oh, no.
Yeah, because...
Yeah. No, if it's 27 prompts, we're on line 26 right now.
Yeah, so this is our 26th prompt.
Yes. So, yeah, well, this is, halfway point.
So the next prompt is, it must take place on a ship.
Oh. Well, that's broad.
I don't think I wrote that one.
No, that's definitely me because I know I can see it right there. It's I was running out of ideas. I was like, on a ship. I will say, okay, when doing this, it doesn't have to be a boat. I will leave it open for a. Or do I want to? Like, do we want to just? It has to be on a body of water, because it's like there's spaceship. Do we have anything that's like space related?
I don't think so, because we both watch a lot of sci-fi, so I don't think we like made each other pick a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
The only other things we have are, let's see, monster movie, not kaiju. Film genres. Yeah, a time travel that could be in space, but not specifically. Road trip could be in space.
Yeah, that's like all one whole series. So since I wrote this role, I will say, hey, not that I have an idea for a space movie, but it's just like, if it takes place, it can be like on an ocean cruiser, ocean liner, like for example, Death on the Nile. Even though it's not an ocean liner, that's like just a little boat, like
a cruise,
yeah.
A river cruise.
I will say the majority of the movie has to happen on a ship, whether it's a spaceship, an aquatic ship, something.
So
like
on
that.
the actual vessel, it can't just be like we got off the ship and now we're on an island.
Yeah, it can't be like Enterprise, like Star Trek, where they're like most of the movies are like, hey, we start off on the Enterprise and we're gonna end on the Enterprise, but the majority of the movie is on some alien planet. Where Kirk is hitting on everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wrote in parentheses majority on the actual vessel, whatever the vessel happens to be. But so the Alien would count.
Yeah, Alien would count if you want to watch.
If we hadn't already watched it 30 times between the two of us.
So would Alien Resurrection.
The newer Alien as well.
Yes.
Because they were on the space. Well, that's a space station. New kind of space station is different than a ship.
That's a good question. Because the way I always picture stations is like, hey, it's like almost like a planet where it's just like it stays in the same spot. Like it can move, but it's like, I don't know.
It doesn't have thrusters to move it.
Yeah, like Deep Space Nine. That's a space station that is just set in there. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is just there. I haven't watched a lot of Deep Space Nine, so it's like there'll probably be someone that just hears that and they're like, "Hold up, we actually traveled." And it's like, "Shut up." But I think on the other side of it, the movie Passengers, which is like essentially a space station inside of a cruise ship in space. That I would consider, because like the majority of the movie is them, the ship is traveling. So as long, I guess, as they're traveling somewhere, because like now I'm just trying to think of other things like High Life that I watched earlier. They are traveling and they are all on the space station. It's like a spaceship that is quite, it's like, I think it's a couple different spaceships that have like combined together. But no, that one's, it's made to be lived on. So I guess I would accept that as well. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. In the end, I'm not going to be a stickler. It's like, hey, you got to go rewatch a movie. But it's just like, if it...
Yeah, I'm just going to say that I'm a little sad. I was like, oh, I wonder when the Odyssey comes out. Doesn't come out till July.
That's
the Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie.
That means you just have to watch the old one.
I did like the old one growing up. That's why I thought, I was like, he's on the ship like 80%. Well, they show in the story he's on the ship 80% of the time. In the movies, he kind of just gets off his ship a lot to go do the next big exciting thing.
Yep. Oh, I just thought of one, but I've already seen it. Oh well. Yeah, it's the first one that came up, Master and Commander.
A lot of Titanic.
actually haven't watched Titanic. But anyway,
Oh.
But whatever I have to watch it today because I don't have time to watch it until we record on Wednesday. So anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out, and I hope you all have a good rest of your time. And yeah, you don't have the. What do you think of the 2 movies I mentioned? Let us know in the comments below. But anyway, thank you everyone. We'll see you next time. Peace.